Today we're going to cook up some French onion soup. Super easy to make. It's a great way to use up a lot of onions if you need to, which I need to. I have an overabundance of onions. First thing I'm going to do, slice them up and cut them up into whatever shapes and sizes you want. I actually like them in slices. So it looks like a lot of onions. I mean, it is a lot of onions, you know, but you're going to want to have a whole bunch of these things because this is pretty much all that's going to be in the dish. And this is going to cook down quite a little bit. So I'm going to get me a pot. I'm going to turn it on medium-high heat. I got about 1.5 tablespoons of butter here. I'm going to throw in some oil. Use whatever kind of oil you like. I'm using coconut oil. So once my oil and butter are all melted up, just going to toss in my onions. Man, I got so many they'll barely fit in this pan. But that's alright, because like I said, they're going to cook down. I'm going to reduce the heat down to medium. And I'm going to throw some salt in here. And the salt is going to help draw the moisture out of these onions, help them to cook down and caramelize. Now some people add sugar, but I don't think you need to add sugar. You know, it's just going to take time to caramelize. And onions, you know, with especially this many onions, it's going to end up being sweet enough already. I am going to add garlic though, because I like garlic. And this is a lot of garlic, because I like garlic. So, you know, that just makes sense. But we're going to stir it around, you know, get that salt over everything, get the butter and that oil mixed in with the onions. And then just take about 30 or 45 minutes, giving these an occasional stir and see how long it'll take for these to cook down. Alrighty, it's only been 10 minutes, but already these onions have cooked down quite significantly. But we're a long way from caramelization. So my onions have been cooking for about 20 minutes. You know, don't see any browning down there. There's still a lot of moisture in here. Although my onions have cooked down, it's probably about 1/3 as full a pot as when I started. I turned the heat down just a little bit below medium. And I'm going to set my timer for another 10 minutes and we'll come back and see what it looks like. So it's been a half an hour now and I don't have any color yet on my onions. You just got to practice patience, grasshopper. You know, the onions are starting to color up a little bit. You know, it's turning into an ooey gooey oniony mess. It's thickening up, but I'm going to let it continue to cook away here for a few more minutes because we want our onions to be nice and golden. It's been about 5 more minutes. And just stirring it around, all the brown bits have come off the bottom. And these onions have really darkened up. I didn't add anything in here. You know, you could add some vinegar. Or you could add a little bit of white wine in here to deglaze it. But I really don't need to deglaze it. But I am going to add a little bit of vinegar in here, just for flavor. I'm going to go ahead and add in a little bit of freshly ground black pepper. I am going to add a little bit of Italian seasonings. And this is optional. You could just put some thyme or some other seasoning if you like, but I'm just adding a little bit of flavor. Now I'm going to add in 2 cups of vegetable broth. And you could use vegetable broth or chicken broth or beef broth. You know, I kind of associate it with having a beefy flavor, but I usually don't keep beef broth on hand. But Worcestershire sauce is a nice addition to onion soup because it adds a kind of a meatiness without meat. Alrighty, so it's come up to a bubble and I'm going to reduce it down to low. Then I'm going to go ahead and cover it up, let it simmer away. I've had it simmer away on low heat. Now you could eat this onion soup just like this here. You know, that wouldn't be a very exciting fancy pants bowl of onion soup. You know, to do that we're going to have to fancy it up. You just want to get a little bread and we're going to toast it up to put on top. Now you could take some bread and just slice it and just toast it like this here. And then lay this on top of the French onion soup. I mean, that's traditionally how it's served, but that's kind of cumbersome. I don't like that. So this is a little thing that I like to do, is to go ahead and cut it up into smaller crouton shapes. And then I'll put that on my soup, you know, and melt cheese over that, because then it's easier to eat. So I got my oven on broil, and I'll just slide it in here and toast these breadcrumbs up. Take an oven-safe bowl, fill your bowl up with some onion soup. So once my croutons are all toasted up, I'm going to go ahead and place those on top of my soup. And then you want to generously top it with whatever kind of cheese you like. I mean, traditionally you use a Gruyere cheese. I got my cheese, covering up my croutons, got it nice and full and cheesy. I'm just going to slide it in here under the broiler. So it's just been 4 minutes, and it looks nice and toasty and bubbly.
I love the crust.
Go to myfoodchannel.com. You can print all our recipes there. Thanks for watching. Subscribe and share and blah, blah, blah. We'll see you in the future. Bye-bye.